Kayla with Tactical Response. You cannot legislate evil out of existence, even though that is what Oregon is trying to do with their Measure 114. If you're not sure what that is, it is the ban sale, transfer, and manufacturing of mags that hold more than 10 rounds, require a permit to purchase a gun, and ban gun sales or transfers without completed background checks. It is supposed to go into effect December 8th, but it is currently up in the air on whether or not a judge is going to put a restraining order on this to hold it off, because they do expect lots and lots of lawsuits revolving around this. This only passed by 50.7%. 50.7%. And if that doesn't make you feel like your vote matters, it should. I'm not sure who all voted and who didn't, but that is such a slight margin that this could have easily went the other way. And if you didn't vote, this is on you. You've got to get out there and make changes. Since it has already passed, what do you do now? You start calling up your state legislatures immediately. Immediately. Call every single day. Tell them how unhappy you are with this decision. Show up. Do legal protest. And by protest, that is just showing up and making your opinion heard. That is not the same thing as rioting. So please keep it courteous, but in their face. If you look at other places, because they were like looking at other cities and states that had this kind of gun control legislation already like in place, and they started comparing it to New York, DC, Chicago, like Illinois. And if you look at places where the gun control is the strictest, they have the highest rates of violent crime. You cannot legislate evil out of existence. All it does is penalize the people who are already following the law. If the criminals cared about the law, they wouldn't be out there committing crimes to begin with. Murder is already illegal. Shooting someone that is not actively trying to hurt you is already illegal. I don't understand it. The Second Amendment dictates that because me and my dad talked about this pretty frequently. Back when I was in college, I would go and I was trying to get concealed carry on campus passed, and I spoke at a lot of the 2A debates there. And one of the most common arguments thrown at me was like, where does the Second Amendment stop? Like, do you think that people should have access to nukes? And I was just like, well, no. So where does it stop? You, the private citizen, should have access to everything that the infantry has access to. Because in unrelated news, I'd like to go over some democide statistics. Democide is the intentional killing of an unarmed or disarmed person by government agents acting in their authoritative capacity and pursuant policy or high command. Okay, just in case you didn't know what that was. Rudolph Rummel, an American political science activist and professor at the University of Hawaii, Indiana University, and Yale, said that it was the leading cause of non-natural death in the 20th century. Since 1900, over 242 million people have been killed by democide. Rights are much harder to get back than they are to let go. Go out there, vote. You can look at healthresearchfunding.org for those statistics. They are backed by the NIH and the NHC. Shelton and I deep dived into making sure that these were legit sources, and everything pointed to yes. They've been around for over 10 years, and like I said, they have funding by the NIH and the NHC. So when our own government is funding pages like this, and those are still the statistics being put out, like, it kind of makes you look twice. Like, what are your intentions passing gun control legislation, Because if you look back at the definition of democide, the intentional killing of an unarmed or disarmed person. Guys, get out there and make your voices heard, and remember that your responsibility to be ready for the fight never ends.